Okay. So I'm gonna go into this. You want me can I go through the whole thing?
Yeah, you
read a lot of background. Okay. Shout out to this listener for this question. The question reads as follows. Is it a good financial strategy to let the IRS keep your state and federal tax return if the value of it is higher than what you owe? And then the second part of that question is, what are the pros and cons? And then the tertiary portion of that question is this an option?
Tertiary means three.
Three, y'all. The third part. Sorry. Isn't an option that I've come across?
Yeah.
Okay, over the last few years of filing, and I started to think about collecting it and starting next filing season, and maybe for a few years to come after that.
Right.
So shout out to you. Yeah. I appreciate you listening.
Tax question. I'll also tell you too, this is the budget episode. This is the first episode of August. So
yes.
we're gonna work. So how should you handle taxes in your budget?
Let's go.
Okay.
Always working that in there.
One, hopefully you don't have to put the taxes in your budget.
Hey, I feel like that's always his default answer. Just don't do it. No, stop.
You're good.
Right.
Okay, so is it a good financial strategy to let the IRS keep your state and federal tax return? Here's the thing with that. It's not that they should or shouldn't be key. Like either you get a return or you get a refund, right? This is saying if the value of it is higher than what you owe. So I think let me explain how taxes work. Maybe so I can and then put this question on it. Say you owe $5 for the whole year, right? Say you owe $1,000 a month in taxes, right? So that's $12,000, and you give them $10,000. So you would owe $2,000 in taxes. Let's say you still owe $1,000 a month, and let's say you end up giving them $14,000 in taxes. You would get a refund of $2,000. So is it a good financial strategy to let the IRS keep your return if you owe? If you owe, you don't have a return. You can't have both.
Right.
However, if this is a thing, because I am not a CPA, if you owe the IRS money and give them the money that you owe them.
Yeah. Hey, let's put it this way: you can give it to them, or they can take it. So
and then it says, what are the pros and cons? The con.
The con is that you owe them money.
Okay, it might be what are the pros and cons of like keeping it versus not.
Okay.
So let's just say what are the pros of keeping your return and you owe? There are none. There's not. If you owe the IRS, that is the ultimate con. Remember, out of everybody you can owe on this earth, they are the last set of people.
They pull up on you like,
FBI, open up! I don't care what anyone has to say. I mean, maybe another federal government, but like if you owe our IRS money, you can't come say you're not American citizen, you can't come back to the the Fed's gonna be waiting for you when you get off that flight. So never make a decision to owe the IRS. The only time you would owe the IRS is if it was literally in a medical life-saving situation, but usually in that case you just take out the medical debt. Rarely have I heard of the reason people have medical debt is because they don't have the money. But literally, I wouldn't even do IRS debt to save your house. We'll get you another house. Real talk, we'll get you another house. But if it comes to trying to replace a human, not a dog, it comes to replace a human. Yeah, obviously, that's the worst case scenario for anybody. But other than that, I would never recommend owning the IRS. That is the penalties are too high. They have too much power. I mean, we've said this before, but they can freeze your bank account. Always remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of the United States Financial Department, which I'm making up, but it's not these places that I call them that. It's the Treasury, it's the Federal Reserve, it's the IRS, and the SEC. You don't want problems with any of those, and I call them the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it's in that order: Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, and then Michelangelo. For those of you who know, Raphael in this case is the IRS. Raphael don't play. He looked Leonardo in the face, said, "I'll kill you. I don't care if you're older brother."
He's the angry one, y'all.
Yeah,
that's the one with the red. For those who watch
the red.
Yeah.
And the IRS, they don't play. And always remember, the IRS is actually a subpart of the Treasury. That's why when it came to these stimulus checks, they just look to see at your tax returns, which the IRS mainly does. And then when you actually got the check deposited into your account, it was from the Treasury, right? So the IRS is a subpart of the Treasury. But they be out here gangbanging like they in charge. Like you would think the most powerful entity would be the IRS, but it's not. It's not even above itself. It's like the parent companies, right? They're Jordan, and the Treasury is Nike. And that's a great example because people think Jordan crazy. It's a whole thing above him.
Look,
so
y'all know how Cory says he wake up and choose violence, even though he said he's taking a break. IRS is literally the three-letter personification of violence. Okay. They can do everything.
The I.R.S. is an acronym, and people call them I.R.S. Like
Literally, you don't want to owe I.R.S. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, if this was a thing, because this just sounds like I have to sit down and see. If you're saying you owe, say you owe $2,000, but they're saying they're going to refund you, money, that means you probably owe from a previous year.
Yeah.
Remember this, refund and owing is within the same tax year. Again, though, if you owe taxes, I would get your refund and give it back to them. Because you owe you owe them that money.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, that's literally contradictory, right? You can't, like you said, you can't owe and get a return in the same tax year, at least for the same tax year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You can't do. You either owe or you in the same tax year.
Right.
You either get money back or you give them money or you it's zero.
If you use TurboTax, the number is either green or black.
Yeah, it's either green or black.
Not
Yeah,
both.
you can do both. But I'm not a CPA, and I've never encountered this. This is the first time I've heard this type of question asked this way. But in the same tax year, to my knowledge, you're the person filing the tax, not that you file your personal tax and the business taxes. Just the one, filing the one tax return, you either owe, don't owe, or delta zero as far as no refund. I'm not aware you can do that, but yeah. And it says optional across the last few years, and so then collecting the return and start collecting it starting next filing season. And maybe for a few years after that. Yeah, this is why you need to work with a tax professional.
Yeah.
If you owe the IRS money, because it's the budgeting episode, you need to stop paying for everything that is not necessities or debt. And this is debt.
That's when you break down to just the house.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, just the financial house. If you owe the IRS money, in all honesty, you cannot do anything but work and pay for necessities and debt. You have to give them that money back ASAP. Especially if you're on some type of repayment plan, you think the student loan repayment plan is bad. Is bad. The IRS,
they be out here like
they be like this. I owe the IRS 2020, my 2019 filing year, but 2020. So I forgot to put in my interest income for my savings account. For those of y'all who be wanting that high yield savings account, here's an alert.
Yes.
So the threshold is like $15, I think, or $10, something like that. And I had like literally $15 and like 30 cents, and I forgot to put it on there. So I filed my taxes. Then they send me a notice in the mail saying, you forgot to put this on here. Y'all, they charged me $43.46. Yes, I remember because I wrote a check for it.
I remember him telling me about it.
They charged me three times in the fee. And mind you, they had charged interest on because I technically owed it from the previous year, and they sent me this in like July. But it's like usually you don't, when you get a loan, the interest isn't charged right away if you pay it off on the same day. How I already got interest charged? I just found out. I got the money. I got the money. So I'm like, it's not fair. So
that's 300% of what he made.
Yeah. So and by the way, it's saving. That's barely $1 a month. It's just in my savings. What I mean? It's not like I didn't even use that money. Like I could give them that money back. So yeah, from a budgeting standpoint, if you owe the IRS, I highly recommend. This would be the one thing I give on the budget sometimes. I do not know if you owe taxes. I don't know how you think you can go do something else, even if you're on a payment plan, unless you're doing something obviously to increase your income to pay it back. But if you end up messing up that and not paying off those taxes back, they will garnish your wages. They will put a freeze on your bank account. How does the IRS do that? Because remember, they're underneath the Treasury, right? So that's the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve gives the money to the banks. Your bank don't got no money. It's at the Fed. I mean, never mind. We already did the banking episode.
Hey, I get hyped for a lot of things throughout the year. I call Cory frequently. Ask Cory how many times I call him around taxi.
You get in the house at the same time too.
Look, I think I was ringing him. I'm talking about multiple times a day. Like he don't send me an actual receipt, but if it was, I'm assuming it would look like them CVS joints where it's like, it looked like a banner for a finish line.
Taxes aren't that complicated. At the end of the day, if you don't want to pay a lot of taxes, you have to lower your taxable income. Not your income, but your taxable income. But as I said, y'all hate that the 1% do that. So don't be a hypocrite. Pay your taxes. Don't use the things to your advantage. But I mean, if you owe, I say if you owe or get a refund, a one paycheck, for a month, so whatever you make a month net, that's when you have an issue with your taxes. I know a lot of you might, as Jordan's wife case, they didn't owe that, they owed a lot because they didn't want to pay it, but it's relative to your income.
I just feel upset because I don't like owing people money, but I mean, when he broke down the math for me, it made a lot of sense.
It's not that much.
It was less than 1%. So.
But yeah, to wrap this one up, if you owe the IRS and they're giving you a refund, do not keep it, give it back to them.
Yes.
Or you probably have to take it and send it back. But if you owe the IRS money and they're somehow our government is giving you money, turn around and give that money right back to them, unless you cannot take care of your financial house. I would not go into debt to make sure you can pay your debt. Remember, debt isn't a need to pay it, but we can fix that stuff later, because most of the time it's only a house and a car that they're going to take. Can't take your student loan. They can't take your degree. I wish they could, because y'all be paying anyways.
Yeah.
Listen
to that last episode.
Yeah, and they can't take your credit card stuff, which I wish if they could take y'all clothes, if they could take y'all clothes from the credit card, if that was collateral, y'all be taking it. But
I'd be mad as heck and somebody run down on you for your Gucci belt.
Yeah,
talk about your old tax money. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. No, I don't care. You know me. I'll just keep. It's my turn.
It's gonna be as close to an hour as possible. Whatever.
But if you owe the IRS money, give them the money back as fast as possible. If they are trying to give you money and you owe them money, that's concerning. Sit down with a CPA. That's the one thing too, budgeting. That's why I say a lot of y'all can't afford to go on vacation. You don't realize, finance and fitness, you're not spending enough money on your fitness. Then on top of that, that's just physical health, working out. Then talking about actually going to the doctor, if you need a dermatologist, right? Dental work, vision work, all of that, you need to pay for that first, right? You know what I mean? Right. And then financially, if you're having financial issues, you might have to pay for a coach or an advisor, or, a CPA, something like that. You need to put all that in your budget before you put that in right around the investing section, because you'd be investing in yourself for that.
Right.
But no, you don't get no lifestyle for that. How you going? I said I wasn't going to choose violence, so I'm going to say it slowly. I'm working on it. I just said it today. If you are going on vacation and you owe taxes, this is why I say people should. Never mind. I said I wasn't going to do it.
I'm gonna put the period on there. Do what you gotta do so you can do what you want to do. All right, that makes sense. I mean, for those who don't know, do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. What you have to do is what Cory just explained. You gotta take care of you gotta do everything within the financial house. You have to take care of your wellness, your well-being, right? So you can live long enough to make that money to then invest and then have some discretionary income and then take the vacations that you need, right? But in that order, okay?
Yeah, a lot of people's finances out of whack because they're not investing in their health and other things that they need to sustain. That's the issue. That's the issue. Compounded with the debt. It's less than the compound interest going the wrong way. So don't do that.
But are you?
I'm good.
Okay.
We haven't released the special edition episode,
right?
So I don't want to say what I said. Yeah, but
I did the same thing. I had to catch myself.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we've been validated. Although this is as close as we can get in a group of friends, so it's not really validation.
Right.
But yeah, don't do that.
Good stuff. All right, so we're here.